Check your six, comrade. Missile launch. Really? At least I'm catching up to him. Let's use cannons instead. You can't run from me! Okay, ripple fire. Come on. I have a feeling I'm gonna run out of ammo before I get him. Let me try again. Got a hit. Wow. Just wow. I can't even believe it. I shot down an F-4 Phantom on the deck. I thought that would be easier said than done. But, yeah, that was great. Let's go home. Alright. Someone explain to me, how did this thing, this beautiful airplane, the F-4C Phantom II, go from being the most anticipated jet fighter to becoming a slow-turning bus and just underperforming? And no, it's not the MiG-21. Don't get me wrong, this jet is good, even though I don't have it yet. But ladies and gentlemen, the best jet in the game is, boom! Wow, the MiG-19PT. This is now the best jet fighter in the game in regards to the meta that is air realistic battles. Oh, hi, you're watching. Howdy, folks. Sauber here. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry, I didn't realize you were watching. And yes, I did lose my insanity for a brief moment, but I'm back. So, sorry about that, but man, I cannot believe that of all things that would come in 1.91 night vision, the best jet in the game, at least in regards to the current meta, that is air realistic battles, is a jet we've had since December of 2018. The MiG-19PT. And before I go further with this, I have to say, thank you, War Thunder. Thank you for giving us the option to ban or dislike some maps. Let me dislike this other one. Dislike or even ban maps we don't want. And thank you for simplifying it. Instead of banning only one part of a map at a time, like for example, Berlin Domination, Berlin Battle, I can just ban the whole darn map. Thank you, War Thunder. Thank you for simplifying that, because I'm like, okay, I could ban one version of the map, but not the whole thing. So thank you for simplifying that. But anyway, let's get back into it. The MiG-19PT. I gotta say, I do love the MiG-19. But I was really anticipating not only its replacement, the MiG-21, but also the good old McDonnell Douglas F-4C Phantom II jet fighter. And don't get me wrong, the Phantom is not a bad jet. It's just having... I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think maybe it's having teething problems in regards to the meta that is air realistic battles, because like I mentioned in my Abrams video back in June, you know, with the ground forces meta being down and whatnot, and the economy changes. Well, I won't go too deeply into that. If you want to learn more about that, go check out that video. I'll link it in the description below for you so you don't have to go through too big of an effort to find it. Anyway, all jokes aside, though, I have a feeling this is a prime example of a vehicle that performed very good in real life, but may not perform well in the world of a video game. And sometimes it's the other way around. A vehicle that performed poorly in the real world performs excellently in the world of a video game. I don't know. Meta like that is just really hard for me to understand. But I think the main issue that the Phantom has against it is, sure, it has modest acceleration. It has a really good top speed, if you're at high altitude, that is. And assuming that no one is higher than you when you have to engage them. But on top of that, it just turns like a bus. Or as I like to say, it turns like a drunk pig. Literally, not too long ago when I was trying to make a modest F-4 Phantom video for the live server, I got in a dogfight with another Phantom, and what do you think happens? Keep in mind, we're dogfighting near the ground, we're going at Mach 1 plus, and we're diving straight down from 10,000 feet, and I thought, oh crap, we gotta pull out of this. So I pull out first, and then he tries to pull out, and I'm still trying to gain on him, but then he crashes into the ground, leaving me with no kill. But what do you think happens next? I squish my Phantom like a pancake into the ground. He couldn't pull out of the dive, I couldn't pull out of the dive. I will admit, it was quite embarrassing. But at least he got a nice laugh out of it, and I did too afterwards. But then at the same time, if the Phantom is in a good fighting position, it can perform well. It has problems with survivability, because MiG-21s can catch you, but as you'll soon see, the MiG-19 sure knows how to catch F-4 Phantoms on the deck. At altitude, it's iffy, but on the deck, all bets are off. Anyhow, I gotta admit, this didn't make the cut, but it was hilarious afterwards. So, my right engine got crit by, of all things, an F-86 F2. So I'm already crit, trying to limp back to base. This Phantom comes out of nowhere, shoots me to pieces, and then he gets on my 6, or he's already on my 6. He turns, and he crashes into my dead MiG. I'm like, really? Here you shoot me down when you're like a kilometer out, and you don't even bother to try to avoid my wrecked MiG? But I digress. Going to the MiG-21 and its issues, sure, it's a great plane, but on the deck, the MiG-19 can out-accelerate it. And I mean, sure, it has 2 engines, but the thing struggles to go past Mach 1 on the deck. But the MiG-21 doesn't have a problem with that from the videos I've seen and gameplay footage. But it does have only the 1 engine, which plays a role. And another thing to keep in mind, the MiG-21 is an interceptor, not necessarily an air superiority fighter like its predecessor, the MiG-19. And when I found out that, Mach 2 jets were going to be added, I had a tough decision to make. At first, I was really excited. I was like, oh, Mach 2. I'm going to have to buy me the MiG-21. But then 2 things happened. First, I found out it only had 1 cannon instead of 2. I can handle the 230 mils on the MiG-19, but just 1? Yeah, that would be an interesting challenge, but would it be enjoyable? And then, as you know, the F-4C Phantom 2 got announced, and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to get the good old F-4 Phantom. And don't get me wrong, I'm very glad I bought it. I've had some fun in some battles, but they weren't necessarily good ones. I think my best battle in the Phantom was shooting down 2 enemy fighters, a MiG-21, and, of all things, another F-4 Phantom. But then guess what shoots me down? Another F-4 Phantom. I gotta say, mixed battles, sure, it's kind of balanced, but in regards to you get the same vehicles, but then it just kind of gets old after a while. And it's like, come on. And I have to admit, I really expected that the F4 would have been better performing on the live patch. Sure, it had some issues on the dev server, but nothing compared to what I've seen on the live server. And again, it doesn't really come down to whether or not it's a good jet or a bad jet. I think it just struggles with the current meta. Because with the MiG-19, it has modest top speed and acceleration and can turn on a dime. Sure, not as good as the MiG-21, but at least you don't lose as much speed as you would in the MiG-21, from what my friends have said. But yeah. So, I almost forgot what I was going to talk about for a second. So, all in all, it's like, sure, I am glad I got the F4 Phantom. I just wish it would perform a little bit better. But one thing I plan on experimenting on in the near future is, instead of, and I'm fairly certain this is going to be a very bad idea, but we'll just have to wait and see how it goes, is instead of using it as just a fighter alone, try to rush some bases and carpet bomb. Sure, you may not earn a lot, but you might be able to do something with that. But then at the same time, that might just be a horrible, horrible idea. But I'm going to risk it and just give it a try. But all in all, the F4 Phantom is really nice to fly. I've certainly enjoyed it in the battles I've played in it, when I haven't gotten wrecked after, you know, just flying for a few minutes. And then also some pretty interesting engagements I've gotten in, including one battle where I was engaged with an F-100 Super Saber. I was able to outclimb him, dive back down, and was able to get him while another F-4 Phantom was helping me out with him. Stuff like that's fun. But in the end, and it's not really so much as about winning or losing, I will be honest, like ground battles, I really wish they would emphasize this for air battles, is make it to where, in order to win a battle, it's about more than just shooting the bad guys. Like, for example, in tank realistic battles, there's domination, there's conquest. For example, you could destroy 15 tanks and still lose. And you know what? That's okay. Because at least you survived to the end, you knew you did all you could. But if you're destroyed and not able to respawn, you wonder, what more could I have done in that battle? Sure, we may have still lost, but at least I could have done more to help. That sort of thing. Hence, I'm really curious how they could implement that for air realistic battles. Because, on the one hand, sure, you could use ground units as an incentive, but on some maps, it's easy to just meme the crap out of those ground units. Like, there was this one battle, I think it was on Afghanistan. I forgot what plane I was flying. I want to say it was the MiG-19 before the patch dropped. And I will be honest, this was very similar to what happened to fly on, I think it was a MiG-17 video or something like that, where he's engaged in a dogfight, and then all of a sudden, wow! The battle just straight up ends. And needless to say, that happened to me too. But the key difference was, sure, we also lost, but it happened just after I shot down the enemy fighter. So I still got the credit for it, at least. So I was like, hey, I got him and I survived, so GG for me. And I know air realistic battles has been this way ever since I started playing War Thunder in February of 2013. And that is, when you're in air realistic battles, you have one respawn only. That's how it's been. And I'm used to it. I'm not against it. But I definitely would like to see more battles in air realistic battles where, in order to win a battle, you do not have to completely eliminate the enemy team. How could this be done? Well, I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't know 100%, but you could add maybe some AI aircraft that could be part of an objective, where it would draw out tickets. Kind of like how it is now on some maps, but have it become a more crucial role. That way the aircraft, those AI aircraft are just not like pinatas where it's like, I'll get them if I want to, or whatever, that sort of thing. But you have more objectives to complete in order to win a battle. Sure, it's still possible to win a battle by completely wiping out the enemy team, but at least the possibility of that happening is decreased. So, the next thing I want to talk about is why I think, because I haven't really talked all that much about the MiG-19's pros and cons, is this. Sure, those 230mm don't have a lot of ammunition, but you basically play it like you would the MiG-15 or the MiG-17, and that's you aim carefully, be patient, fire off in short bursts, and try to get in an excellent position before you fire. I will acknowledge, I do like that playstyle. I'm especially enjoying it when I was making the footage for the MiG-19. It required patience and conserving your ammo. It's like, sure, you could do that with other aircraft, even the Phantom or the Super Sabre, but it's more a crucial factor in whether or not you succeed in getting an air target when you're flying a jet with limited ammunition, or severely limited ammunition rather, like the MiG-19. And to deviate a little, I will be honest, I'm not sure why the rocket launched in the direction that it did. Because I meant to launch it when I was aiming at the Super Sabre, but I guess I got a little trigger happy and I launched it towards the sun, or toward the ground rather, but that was a little weird. And so the MiG-19, like I probably mentioned earlier, it's light, not as light as the MiG-21, for example. It turns modestly and has excellent acceleration. I think that's what does it good. Does it good? Yeah, does it good in the current meta that is air realistic battles. And there are some battles where I do get some missile kills, but I don't know. It's still fairly easy to dodge some of these heat-seeking missiles. If you do get hit, it's either because you didn't get a warning in time, they were super close, and or you just were not paying attention. Like in the first battle when I launched the missile against the F-4 Phantom, I'm pretty sure he did see the, oh boy, that was close. See the missile, but by the time he saw it, it was too late. He tried to turn, but I assume I got his tail surface control, you know, his elevator, and hence why he just plowed straight into that mountain. But yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about is my honest impression with the new, yes, you did see that, that poor MiG-19 got team killed by another MiG-19. You gotta be careful with those missiles, folks. I've learned the hard way, both ends of the situation. I've been team killed and I've accidentally team killed with the missiles. I remember one of the first times I accidentally team killed someone with a bad missile lock. I'll be honest, I don't know exactly how it happened, but I assume what had happened was I meant to launch it at one enemy, but instead it locked on to my ally after he got shot, or excuse me, after the guy I was targeting got shot down. And then I was like, no, bad luck! Kind of like what Flight's reaction was on that custom battle on the dev server, but I felt the same way. I was like, no, bad luck! And then boom, negative 40,000 silver TK fine. Feels bad, man. So as you'll soon see here, before I go back onto the map selection, as you could see, the F-4 Phantom, without a doubt, outpaced me from taking off on the runway. But, wait for it. Yep, I'm catching up to him, as you'll soon see. Without much effort, I surpass him. Stuff like that. And I've done the same thing against the MiG-21. It's just that I don't know what it is. I guess the MiG-19, it's not broken. MiG-21's not broken, and the Phantom's not broken. I just think that the MiG-19, for whatever reason, just has superior acceleration on the deck. But, as you'll soon see... Wait, where is it? Oof! Yeah. I really think they need to tone down the AAA on, I think it's the Bastongue map. Because at lower tiers, it might be a bit realistic, but... Well, it's not really so much about realism, it's so much about balance. I mean, thankfully, it didn't damage me as much as it probably would have done any other aircraft, but I just got damaged oil tanks and control surfaces, which did overheat my engine towards the end of the match, which, had the match gone again in the favor of the enemy team, I probably would not have survived very long. But thankfully, we were able to do modestly and complete the mission finally. And as you'll soon see also, I get my one and only kill in this match in a very odd way. I don't know if it was due to lag or something else, as you'll soon see. But anyway, the last thing I want to talk about is the map rotation restriction. Like, having the freedom, finally, to choose, to a certain degree, which maps you do not want. For all players, you can select up to 3 maps that you just give a dislike. You're fired. And in effect, sure, it's not that you will never get those maps, but your chances of getting those maps are significantly reduced. And as a bonus, I'm not sure what to think of this. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I'm not sure if it's the best thing either. It makes sense just for the trial phase, but maybe they'll adjust this as needed. I don't know. But if you have a premium account, that's right, a premium account, you can just straight up ban a single map. You will never get that map again, as long as you have it banned. And the nice thing is, you can set all those parameters up based on each game mode. For example, in arcade battles, I have I can't remember what it's called. I'll put the text on the screen what the map is called. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. The something heights map. I hate that map in their arcade. Because you're spawned up at like almost 8 kilometers or 21,000 feet. And if you're in a low altitude prop, it's gonna be dreadful. So now I can be rest assured that I'll never get that map again, now that I have it banned. And then in air realistic battles, I presume I have the right version of Malta banned, but there's this broken version of Malta where you, on one side, one faction spawns in the air, and the other spawns on the ground. Totally unfair. I have that version banned. I don't have to worry about it. I'm really proud of War Thunder for implementing this much-needed change. And I'm really appreciative and surprised, to a certain degree, that they've even said, we will monitor the amount of maps that you have banned or disliked, and maybe we'll decrease the rotation of such maps, or even remove them from rotation altogether. I gotta say, this is a huge step in the right direction, and I'm really hopeful for the future in regards to the rotation of these maps, and we'll get some much desired changes. On top of that, one significant change I've noticed for ground realistic battles is, you could get just about every map in rotation now, including Port Novo, Mozdok, or sorry, not Mozdok, Kuban. What's another map? Okay, those were the only 2 I could think of, but you get the idea. Maps that you used to commonly get at low tier only, now you can get it high tier. Thank God I don't think you can get Ash River, because that's the smallest map in the game, which existed back in the closed beta for ground forces, and meant for tier 3, maybe tier 4 battles tops, and an arcade. But I digress. All in all, I was really excited to see Port Novo and Kuban introduced for top tier. I especially love Kuban. It's a dream come true. It's a ton of fun because I really like those maps where it's about waiting in ambush, being more strategic, not just being on a flat pancake surface map and like, hey, I see a tank, shoot it. No, it's a matter of you drive around through these corners and it's like, is there going to be enemy to in front of me, to my right, to my left, or at my butt? That sort of thing. But all in all, I'm really happy for these map changes and definitely look forward to see what changes we can expect in the future. But anyway, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying the video so far. And I'm definitely looking forward to covering night vision and the new tank, well, not necessarily new, but the new tank map rotation. I'll discuss that in more depth in the next video. But anyway, that is it for today's video. Have a great day, stay safe, and until next time, peace out.